Good evening, BookTube, YouTube. This is Johnny. I've noticed that it's been at least 5-6 days since I made a video, and like I've always tell people, when you get older, the days just seem to fly by. And today is a Saturday. It's a Saturday night. It's going on 8 o'clock in the evening here in West Michigan. I just got back from a walk. It was 82 degrees outside, but I find walking to be a good therapy, especially in the evenings or in the mornings I go for a walk. But so it's Saturday evening here in West Michigan, and I'm just going to be basically this video is a book haul. Recently, well, I can't remember, this week I had an appointment with my behavioral health specialist in the morning in Zeeland, which is north of Holland where we live, not, you know, just a hop, skip, and a jump. And after the session with the behavioral health specialist, we headed back home, but my wife, we decided to stop at some thrift stores. My wife has got into going into thrift stores. And of course, you know, my wife drives and she wants to go to thrift stores, and I said, I'll go ahead. But I told her I'm not buying. I don't want to go to thrift stores because I don't want to accumulate a lot of used books. Anyway, the point is we went to thrift stores and I found some books. And we went to one place, just Action House, just down the street from us. And they provide clothing and food and furniture and other things for the people in the community. And they had a bunch of books. And one of the books I picked up, and this is like, so what this is a Saturday night book haul. I'm not going to show you my diary. I'm on page something like 809 in my 2021 diary. I'm not going to show you what I've been reading because basically I'm reading the same things that I showed you in my last video. But I picked this book up, Red Victory, A History of the Russian Civil War, by W. Bruce Lincoln. I have other books by him, 3 other books. I have his book on the Rachmaninoffs, and I have his book on Between Heaven and Hell, the story of 1,000 years of artistic life in Russia, and I have something else, I think his book on Russia and Siberia. So I found this one by W. Bruce Lincoln on Red Victory, the history of the Russian Civil War. And then I picked up at that thrift store day, we stopped somewhere. Oh yeah, we stopped at the Gateway Center because we had to drop some stuff off, and then my wife wanted to go in, and I found a novel by Graham Swift, The Light of Day. His most famous novel is The Last Orders. I collect his writings. I have 4 or 5 of Graham Swift's novels. He is a very well-known British writer, so I collect his writings. I didn't dehaul him. And then I picked up, I picked this book up at the Book Nook. I've been volunteering at the Book Nook on Mondays and Fridays. I found this at the Book Nook, Billards at 9:30 by Hendrik Boll. I collect his writings. I have a huge stack of his short stories and novels. He's a German writer. This was translated from the German by Leah Vandenwitz. I can't pronounce it. So I picked up one of her novels, not her, his novels at the Book Nook. Bullards at 9:30. And then I picked up, today I had to go pick up a prescription for my antidepressants, and I stopped at Goodwill. I just glanced, went in and went out, but I found a biography on Henry Clay, America's Greatest Statesman by Harlow Giles Younger. I have his Younger's novels on John Hitchcock. I think that's what his name is. I can't find it right now, that biography, but it's somewhere in my library. Let me see if it's listed here. Oh, no, it doesn't list that one. But he has a novel. He has a biography on John Quincy Adams too. This Harlow Giles Younger. So I picked this up today. Henry Clay, America's Greatest Statesman. The other day, I had a van full of used books that I took to the Blue Stockings bookshop for in-store credit, and I found this for 50 cents. The Idea of Poverty, England and Early Industrial Age by Gertrude Himmelfarb. And I got this because this covers the same time. I'm very interested in British history, the effects of the Industrial Revolution in poverty in that time period. I also picked up at the Blue Stockings Authors Britain. This is Authors Britain, A History and Archaeology, AD 367 to 634 by Leslie Alcock. This is on Arthurian legends, that time period, and I collect books on that time period there in Great Britain. We are all familiar with the legendary tales of King Arthur, the sword in the stone, the Holy Grail, the great deeds and high enchantments. But what evidence is there for a real historical figure beneath the myth and romance? And this is what he goes into in this book, and I got that. I also picked up at Bibles from Mexico, 100 Years of English Literature. This came out it just covers 100 years of English literature by 1840 to 1940 by Sherard Vines, sometime professor of English at University of Hull. This is an older volume, but I collect books like this. I like surveys of American and English, European literature. I think this first came out in 1950. Very interesting. Then I picked up at Action House Jonathan Swift's Gulliver's Travels. I have this, but I like these Penguin editions, and it was only like 50 cents, something like that, 60 cents. And then I picked up at Action House Wormholes by John Fowles, Essays and Occasional Writings. I have this in hardback, but I like this paperback edition. It was only 60 cents, and it wasn't underlined. It was in perfect condition. It's easier to handle than the hardback. I also found at Action House a biography on John Fowles, A Life in Two Worlds by Eileen Warburton. It's in perfect condition. Yeah. This came out in 2004. But I have John Fowles novels, his short stories. I'm not sure if I have short stories. I can't remember. Anyway, I was really pleased to find a biography on John Fowles. He's famous for his novel, The French Lieutenant's Woman. So I found that. Then I found at Action House the biography of Mozart. Since this antidepressant, I can only listen to classical music on real low volume. And I've had biographies on Beethoven and Haydn and other classical composers, but I think I dehauled them. But this looked interesting. It was only 60 cents. And it's by a very famous musicologist, Maynard Solomon, on Mozart. And I love biographies, and so I picked it up, only 60 cents. And then I picked up at Action House Roberto's Bolano's 2666 in paperback. I have over here, I'll show you. I have this edition of 666 when it first came out in this edition, but I really like this paperback edition. I can put it in my saddlebag and I can carry it around, and this one's kind of, well, it does have 3 volumes. So it comes out in 3 volumes, 6666. I've been always wanting to read this, but I've never gotten around to it. But it's on my to-do list, reading it. So now I have 2 editions of 2666 by Roberto Bolano. This was translated out of Spanish by Natasha Wimmer. And then I picked up another book. I picked this up at Gateway Center, biography on Marinette and Antoinette, Maria Antoinette, by Antonia. No, her name is Annalena Fraser. I can't remember. But I have this in hardback, but this was only like, I don't know, 90 cents, and I really like. It's kind of falling apart a little bit, but I like the edition, and it's easier to handle than a hardback if you want to carry it around and read it. Antonio, I can't remember how to pronounce her name, but I collect her biographies. I have them on Cromwell, Henry VIII's wives, so I have them over there. And then I picked up at Action House John Martimeyer, Duncer, a novel. He wrote those novels that are kind of famous. I didn't dehaul them. His I can't remember what they're called now. My mind just went blank. He wrote the Rumpel on Trial, Rumpel, La Carte, Rumpel, The Age of Miracles. I have them all over there. I didn't dehaul them. I kept him. John Martimeyer. This is his novel, Dumpster. And then I found this at the local. This is from in our neighborhood. We have what you call the little neighborhood libraries, and I found this novel in one of those. This is by a Brazilian writer, or I think he's Brazilian, or which is he? Portuguese. Chronicle of a Murdered House by Lucio Cardoso. Chronicles of a Murdered House, and this is translated by Margaret Joel Costa, a very famous translator of Spanish and Portuguese literature. So I was very pleased to find this in our little library thing. I also picked up Randall Hansen's Disobeying Hitler, German Resistance After the Valkyrie. And at the Book Nook, I haven't really been finding much, but I did find some art books. I got this at the Book Nook this week. Painted Prayers, the Book of Hours in Medieval and Resistance Art. I just like the illustrations. The Book of Hours, it's just I like medieval art, and it's only $5, and I really like these kinds of books. So I picked this up, and then I picked up William de Kooning's paintings. He's an American. Well, he was originally from the Netherlands. He came to America, and I think in the New York in the 30s and 40s and 50s, and he was a very famous abstract impressionistic painter. And I collect. This is his art book, his paintings, and he's one of my favorite painters of that time period, de Kooning. So I picked this up. And then I also picked up Cézanne portraits. These are just portraits that he did of his wife, of his father, of himself. He did all kinds of portraits. Let me find one. This one's kind of a good example. His impressionistic portraits. So I picked this up. Cost me $5. Just portraits of himself. I like art book. I mean, I've been at the Book Nook for about 10 years, and I buy a lot of art books. I just love art books. See, there's another self-portrait of him. Cézanne. So, and then I picked up this little book at Bibles to Mexico, some guide to a museum, San Marco. Just has all these medieval, maybe Renaissance paintings in this museum, and it was just a little thing, but I really liked it, so I picked it up. So yeah, that's also I picked up at Gateway. I bought a book that I donated. I've been going to Gateway, and I donated a lot of books to them over the last couple of months, and I bought this at Gateway, and I realized I had donated Every Man Dies Alone, Hans Fellow, the New York Times Book Review, Notable Book of the Year. This was translated out of German by Michael Hoffman. I already had this, and I had donated, and then I bought it again. So that's my book haul. As far as how I'm doing, as far as my depression, anxiety, I'm taking my medication. I have good days, I have bad days. It's just, you just do one day at a time. Reading the Bible, I'm still reading through the Gospel of John, the last week of Jesus. I'm in John 15, and I'm reading The Life of Jesus Christ by Rudolph of Saxony, and I'm reading the Gospel of Mark. So basically that's what I do. I write in my diary, I take naps, I go for walks. I try to live a very quiet life and pray. I've been praying more, reading the Bible more, and seeking the Lord for who to approach for therapy and counseling. And also I've been praying for you guys out there who have made comments saying that you also suffer from chronic depression or panic attacks or other mental illness. I've been praying for you, and thank you for your prayers, your comments, your support. That's about it. Like I said, I'm still reading the same things that I showed in my last video. I'm trying not to read all over the map like I've done in the past. I'm just trying to stick with what I have been reading the last couple of months. I was reading that Lee Child's The Killing Floor, but the more I read it, it had too many flaws. It was too many things it was his first novel, and I just found it kind of unbelievable. It was just getting kind of bizarre. So I stopped reading it. So that's it. I hope you're all doing well. I hope you having a good reading weekend. I don't have any books coming in the mail. Like I said, I'm trying just to limit what I get from the Book Nook. And as you all know, that next month at the library is the Friends of Library Use book sale. They have 2 years of books that have been donated that have to be sold. So I'm sure I'll find some things, but I'm gonna be very selective. I do not want to have this lower level, this masses of books. I'm trying to get rid of stuff. So yeah, you can see around. It looks pretty nice, you know. There's the new shelves. You've seen those, and the floors are basically empty. It's all down there is all kind of empty. It's kind of empty down there, and no books down there. So it's kind of more organized than it was in the past, for those who can remember. So yeah. So I hope you're all having, like I said, a good reading weekend. Thank you for your comments. I know I didn't respond to all the comments in the last couple of videos because there were so many, but I read them and I really appreciate your support and your prayers. Hope you're all doing well, and until next time, bye. Like I said, I don't have it. I do volunteer at the library bookstore Monday, so maybe I'll get something, I don't know. Last couple of times, like I said, I just found art books. And I love art books. See, I just love art books. Just can't get enough of them. So, once again, you're in our prayers, and peace.